strategy they weren't able to make quite work out against SG the previous day, and they looked like a different team. Honestly, they looked either tilted or stressed or something. I mean, they weren't. We mentioned before in 38 minutes they weren't able to get their combo off, and I was honestly so impressed by IG in game one. I was like, wow, really? I mean, Complexity doesn't look like they stand a chance in this matchup now, man. They honestly look like they're on fire, and then the way they turned that around in game two, I mean, I'm honestly not sure what to expect. I'm not sure if IG's lost their spirit or if it was just a bad game and how they're going to approach this.
It is interesting, and to kind of give my take on that, it's not only on the IG side in the sense that yes, I'm sure the frustration in the sense that with the lag issues that had just come up. Remember too, Fabunko is playing in place of Fuzi. They are playing with a completely new player in the series. All of a sudden, after that first game victory, not that Fabunko's a bad. I mean, obviously he's a great player, but it can affect something as far as the team atmosphere and whatnot. And then on the other hand, you had Complexity with that having to wait through that whole situation. They did nothing wrong in the end. Obviously, they were here. They were just waiting to eventually find out what the ultimate decision would be. In the end, it was decided to play on, and to say the least, I'm sure there was a fire underneath their ass, basically, to put it lightly, in the sense that we're down 1-0. This is for DreamHack. Obviously, we're a little frustrated that we have to wait this long. Whatever. We're gonna make some big plays here, and I think that definitely showed in game number 2. So now that that's out of the way,
yeah, but that's out of the way. But do you think it's frustrating that IG is sitting here having to play with Fabunko filling in instead of Fuzi? I mean, that is a major change.
Oh, yeah. No.
This is the game to decide who goes to DreamHack, and they can't have their main roster they've been scrimming with, practicing with.
Hey,
yeah, you can say you do have 6 for a reason, but that changes everything.
Again, I go back. It's technology. It sucks. It's apparently his internet just went out. I mean, what can you do? So you got to move on though, and that's what we're doing here. Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving. We're rambling on. I mean, we're already well on in this. I mean, you can kind of see it for yourself how things happened. You do look at the bands, and then eventually the Bubbles, the first pick into the Glacius Torture coming out for Complexity here. So nothing too out of the ordinary when you break it down right here.
Well, the lock pull is a very dangerous one, though. You see high priority picks of Rally, Master of Arms, Ophelia, and Tempest. Engineers up there, and Flux, did he receive the love or attention?
Flux is unbanned.
So the Flux Engineer combination, if his team wanted to try to pick it up, they could draft and go for that Engineer pick out of the slot pool. Other than that, I mean, you look at, Flux, not Flux, I meant Rally, Master of Arms, Ophelia, and Tempest coming out. And you prevent one team from getting all 3 of them like you did in Game 1, which I once again thought that was absurd how they got Ophelia, Master of Arms, and Rally. But besides that, you just create this interesting dynamic where, if you get say if you picked up Ophelia, you give them Rally, Master of Arms, and they wouldn't have a good jungler, so they're probably going to want that Tempest, the team that doesn't pick Ophelia. So neither team is going to get that Rally or the Master of Arms. And then there's the battle between those 2 junglers, so.
Yeah,
they're both active, too.
In a sense, thinking that 2 of those heroes in lock are in essential bans, basically. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and they're bans, and then they're sort of like half bans against each team, where they're preventing certain really, really powerful combinations of heroes from coming out.
There you go. That's what we were talking about. Flux, Dark Lady picked up on top of that. I definitely a favorite of New G's, I'm sure, as far as his carry potential or carry hero, but this does open the door for that what could be that Flux Engineer combination here. If they are able to draft it up, so. But
what's the kind of thing where I'm actually looking to see are they still going to be drafting that jungler first, or just going straight for the engineer at this point? Then given the laning exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you give up what could be an Ophelia Tempest.
I mean, they don't have to do it. I mean, they don't have to.
Of course not. No, it's. I mean, Flux still in his own right. I mean,
he's a powerful solo, and he's a pretty powerful hero.
Hey, he synergizes pretty well with the Tempest too. I mean. Rally seems like he's pretty good with. Hell, any of those heroes, frankly.
Well, exactly. So.
It's just that ultimate combination is most certainly that engineer, but it's not like the end of the world if you don't get it. So, yeah, it's not an all-in strategy by any means.
Well, no, it sort of creates pressure and sort of forces Complexity to want to address it here, and they already have picked up their support in Glacius. So, if they're going for a jungler, I mean, that's already sort of written in stone.
Yeah, very true. With the Glacius Torture, they're down to 27 seconds of counting here. Be getting as a team, definitely putting some serious thought into this. I do see that Kraken once again on the board. Seems to be a hero that Trough does like to play, and an option possibly, but obviously there's plenty here.
I'm not expecting to see it anymore. I mean, there's a chance. I mean, he did play very well in Game 1, but no. It would have been strange to me. Now they picked up the Magma. See, that does open them up to potential do more dual lanes where they could grab something like that Engineer and set up a multiple dual lane setup and go for something like that rally or pebbles as well, and have more of a smash oriented lineup. They're not even going to risk it though. They're picking engineer right away at the start, and well, that's fine. I mean, it worked with them having a torch solo and a mag solo and making it work from there. So
that's I mean, again though, do you go the Ophelia Tempest there? Because not only is that a song coming in, but it does take away from Internet Gangsters. But I mean, there is a rally and a pebbles and a master
work no matter
so
what. They do go for it. They can make it work no matter what. They jungle and just go for the powerful lane combination. Try to slow her growth. Master Arms would be the obvious pick in a case like that. And yeah, sure. I mean, I think they did the right thing. I mean, they forced them more into the fact where they can sort of try to out-farm them here. But you look at the late game carry on the Hellborn team, and it's all on the Torture. It's all on the Torture. It's a lot of magic damage coming out once again.
Yeah.
They do have incredible push, and they do have incredible denial to try to prevent Dark Lady's growth. But one bad team fight, we heard SG say it before, one bad team fight caused by this Flux Engineer combination, and that's all you need. And especially with the chaos coming out from the Dark Lady ulti and the room that they might have to actually make that happen and give Engineer the room to get up there and land a good ultimate as well, that is even more and more and more likely. So you know, it's just a matter of can they keep this game. Once again, it's somewhat even footing while the Dark Lady farms up. I'm hoping we don't see an item build once again that is just purely passive on this Dark Lady. Unless they really have a dominant lane early on, because I hate seeing the Dark Lady. The game's like, it seems even. And then you see a fight happen where if Dark Lady's had a little bit more build-up perhaps, they might have been able to take it or fight it, but she didn't. So then they just sit back, lose that fight, and then after that fight they're down 6k, and then it doesn't even matter what she gets afterwards, even if she gets a Rune Cleaver.
Yeah,
because she gets her farming item, then they take another bad team fight, all of a sudden it's 10k in the hole. So how IG sort of approaches this, I'm going to be really interested to watch. See how Noob G approaches it in general. Very sound carry player, obviously. So
yeah, and we'll see how Complexity, on the other hand, how they take advantage of that. You know, if she is just going to sit back and farm, then of course that's where you do group up, you make those pushes happen, you engage in team fights where she's not involved, and they most certainly have a team for that. I mean, just looking at their team, this is a has potential at least to be a very aggressive earlier on team when it comes down to it. So
they don't have insane burst though, honestly, and they have Master of Arms, and because they don't have insane burst, it's easy to be interrupted by something like a Bubbles, by something like this Flux Engineer combination.
Yeah, could definitely cause some issues. I mean, Master of Arms obviously leading the way, but it is main support Master of Arms, so the Master's Call.
Well, yeah, still the Master's Call will be there in the end. You know, say they try to go in, and that's when you see the bubbles pop in silence. You see the shadow go over them, and all of a sudden their initiate gets screwed up. They don't have the highest amount of burst in the first place, and yeah, I mean, problems can happen. Of course, they do have that resource advantage of being able to farm them much faster because of the Tempest and the Ophelia. Either way, looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing how they'll actually wind up doing the lanes here in the end. Whether Tempest or not, will go to the straight off lane.
This Deconstructor Tempest is also interesting. Actually, his Elemental Void is I've only seen it a couple times, but it's like a bluish kind of different style of ultimate than the Elemental Void, so, or the original skin, of course. So. But so fun to see always new skins like this, and I always have ADD, so get distracted.
Moonmeander playing the Tempest actually has 6 mana potions at the start for just from mass creep denial here. To really try to slow down the. I'm assuming he's gonna want to go. I mean, we'll have to see. I was kind of assuming he'd be going up against the Dark Lady and just massively trying to just out deny her farm and slow it down early on to allow them to get more of that growth. But we'll have to see.
Also, again, just to clarify on this, this is the Losers Bracket Finals. I know this again may be a little bit confusing for some people. We've been stressing this is it. It is. The Grand Finals are not played because there is simply put no point for it in this event. This is not a prize pool tournament in terms of money. This was a you qualify, you get your travel stipend. State Green already qualified. They got to the Grand Finals from the winners bracket. So again, now with the only we needed the top 2 teams, so the winner of this now will be the second team to qualify. So just again, one more time, clarify that this is it here. There is no Grand Finals after the Losers Bracket Finals. So. All right, you see Ward of Sight plays by Fabunka right there, playing the bubbles up at the top.
Okay, so they're actually going to leave this bottom lane completely open.
Oh, wow, yeah, they are.
Yeah, and he's going to move ahead and just, I guess, occupy one part of the jungle while Ophelia more or less, it seems like she's going to play more of a, maybe potentially a supportive role in this lane with a creep as Tempest controls the woods. And that way they're it's kind of like they have a support in Ophelia, maybe.
Yeah, that's
a bit stronger in that control and presence because of the creep and being able to box out this. Yeah, and is able to actually stack the pool if he wants to. So that's actually going to really help out Ophelia and her levels as well. So they are sharing the jungle in a sense here, and I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this golden experience chart.
Yeah.
You know, they're what's up?
Well, the ward aside though is screwing up any plans that he may have to try to set up any ganks here in the middle.
Well, yeah, but you don't need to set up a gank to do something right. You can box out the bubbles and ruin his experience and create a level disparity. So that's something they could be doing right now with the creep, is keeping bubbles like pushed all the way back because he can't really hold up his own. They are choosing to stack this medium camp here, probably going to pull it and try to clear for a lot of experience, or they might choose to stack it one more time here and just really participate in that lane denial, because the triple stacks, they are pretty potent at it. The double stacks aren't quite enough.
This also makes it kind of interesting for what Ascender do here on Master of Arms. He's obviously, there's no point for him to be at the bottom lane. He would be leeching experience, if anything, from Dark Liddy, and maybe some you want him to get levels, but at the same time, you know, obviously you want to also maximize Dark Liddy, both in her gold per minute farm and her experience per minute. So you do see him right now. He's kind of just going around and stacking these camps. So I guess for now that's just simply going to be his job. But that doesn't get him experience. So going to definitely keep an eye here on Sender playing this Master of Arms, and what kind of experience or how his levels continue to look as this game progresses. You definitely expect him to be assisting in kill opportunities, perhaps in this middle lane here in the new feature with that said too. But we'll see. We'll see how Sender progresses here for internet gangsters. But as far as lane matchups are concerned, you do have that middle matchup of Torturer versus Flux. Obviously, Engineer and Glacius here supporting one another, or they're heroes in their own right. But Torturer 6-2, Flux is 9-3 currently. Flux having the better time, man.
Flux Engie is a really powerful combination in this mid lane. Actually, it's surprisingly deadly. Just because Flux is so tanky as that point man gets to go those. It's interesting as a range here, going to go 2 Crushing Claws at the start with 2 totems, makes you so damn tanky here at level 3, 834 HP,
geez.
And a massive amount of slow if that turret and the, I'm not even sure what it's called, the stomp ability, the release from Flux.
That was kind of a awkward turret there from Insania. He's like, here, have some free gold, basically. Yeah. He just kind of threw that out there, and Jocelyn was like, okay, I'll take a kill on turret. But yeah, you're right. I mean, just looking at how tanky Flux is, already a level 3 it is pretty absurd. Seeing that has a level 2 magnetic surge. I always am curious about the polarity shift or polarity swap, excuse me, and whether or not we see Fluxes get that at level 4 per se or later on, and it definitely seems like it varies from time to time. So we'll see what Xibe goes here. Playing the Flux, of course. Insania playing the Engineer, by the way. He's playing that secondary support Engineer here for Ascender on the Master Run. So they chose to have the Engineer secondary support. As I say, that he's going to be gone up by Tempest coming in for the Bloodless kill. Will it be successful? Yes, it will. Trapmador comes through and gets credit for the Bloodlust kill. Both Ophelia and Tempest eventually get here.
They're going to push Breaky. They have the Ophelia, they have the Tempest, they have the Catman Champion here. Why not? What can Flux do to stop it? So interesting rotation. You see right here, forcing a port immediately back in the that would have been bad.
Yeah,
that would have been real
dead
bad.
Engineer right there if he poured it. So it's a good thing they did, but that's just a waste of 135 gold too, in a sense. I mean,
well, look at the experience in the gold lead already, man. That is absolutely huge. Some crafty plays coming out from Flexi.
Yeah, really putting them on their heels, man, and it's showing again. Why not? This is it. This is to go to DreamHack. This is a final game. Bust out everything you got and kind of, definitely appreciate what Complexity's doing here. Definitely something very unique with the double your own jungle strategy, basically, and then push mid, gank mid, and push mid early on. So
yeah,
good start for them.
There's no pressure really applied to block any of the camps either.
Yeah,
and the fact that they had those, maybe they're figuring the Ophelia, would have sort of been being solo in her jungle. They probably just didn't anticipate it at all. So by the time there was anything they do about it, they already spent their gold.
Now, the obvious downside to their strategy, as pretty much every strategy has it, at least some weaknesses, I guess more so the weakness is Dark Liddy. She is 100%, she's literally just been sitting here, she's on a mission PvE. She's had 0 interaction with a human being in this game so far because of how the lanes are set up.
That is the case. It's funny how you say it.
I really was dragging on right there. But anyways, no, Dark Liddy, 360 gold per minute. Obviously, it's showing. So that does go back to what you said from the very beginning. How involved will Dark Liddy be in this game? especially with the start that
she's going for the quick Rune Cleaver, which
not even
in a game like this is going to be insanely quick. I suppose.
Yeah.
Power push, Hecatomine top lane, though. They have the Elemental Void coming out onto the Bubbles. It's definitely worth the kill. Because from here, Bubbles, yeah, he can either choose between getting his boots of speed or TPing back and trying to stop the push. But how are you going to stop the push against two? Actually, does he have two Ophelia minions? No, just one right now, but still, the Tempest minions plus the Ophelia. Going to be too much to handle. They have the Ring of Sorcery for Tempest as well, going to keep his allies well rejuvenated. So, meanwhile, during all of this, they're just going to leave those two to push with the creep, and Ophelia is going to go grab another creep from the hard camp. It is a skeleton, so just it honestly doesn't matter that they're leaving the lane open because they have a 2,500 gold and 1,000 experience lead. That's the numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
3,800 gold now, and
big. We're only 6.5 minutes in. I mean, you obviously gotta take a look at the timer and really see how big that actually is. So up to upwards of 4,000 even. So definitely a big start here for Complexity, keeping up this momentum. We'll see if they can. You see that Steam Boots finished on Magnus on top of the bottle, so he's off to a fantastic start himself. I love this skin on Tempest too. It's the more I'm watching, the sound it makes, and the ultimate that animation that happens is pretty damn cool. Not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, Complexity has to keep this pressure up, man. We went and we analyzed their lineup. Sure, Tort can do work, and Torture is actually farming surprisingly well. He does go for something ultimately like that, Cauldros that can counter sort of the Dark Lady fairly well in these fights. So maybe they're not totally on a timer, as I would have said, due to the fact that this Torture is doing so hot. But I was gonna say, like, pretty much, though, you look at the Legion team, you're like, yeah, man, if that goes late enough, there's nothing they're gonna be able to do on the Hellborn side to stop it.
I mean, you see what IG's doing. Like, this is what they're forced to do. They're killing double stack jungles with Engineer Flux. I mean, they're just getting farm anywhere they can at this point, outside of that Dark Lane. And Flux is managing actually at 280 gold per minute. So definitely credit to Exhibit there. That the fact that he has now his Steam Boots and bottle picked up. So he is off to a very solid start. He actually just leveled up for his Discharge there as well. Of course, his ultimate. Doesn't have the Polarity Shift just yet.
He might be off to a solid start right now, but Insania and Center both stuck at 84 and 94 gold per minute respectively. Boots are picked up by Insania Center. No such luck yet, so I'd like to see his team help him out that bit. I mean, it is pretty damn key here. Are they looking to actually pull this? It looks like they are. But at the same time, they're looking to pull this, but then Complexity's actually moving bottom to push it, so it's going to help their push a little bit faster. They're going to have a creep wave already going in their favor. Who has a port here on the Legion side? Engineer, no port. Flux has a port and a double damage rune. Take a look at Bubbles. Bubbles has a port, and the rest are in position, so may be able to fight. They're definitely going here. Vision Center should be able to scout out PPD thanks to the Rev Ward plays, and he's going around the back, expecting to see him get caught out here.
Bottom lane to dive on a Flux. He is going to be fine, but yeah, Peter Pan Dam going around the backside as you're talking about. The Order side is going to be put down by Master of Arms right there. We have a big fight brewing right here. Flux will discharge right there, right under Tempest, pulling him in. Bubbles comes in with the Cowfield. Tempest going to be completely locked down. Moon Meter will fall. He got the tower kill, though. That's a pretty damn big deal. The fight is still going ever for Bucko in the midst of it. The Song of the Sea going off. He gets counter with the Lava Surge. In jumps out of Glacius right there.
Gosh.
And Glacius will dive out. Look at the response now from Complexity. Flux is dropping. Well played by Riser right there, locking him down with his minions and gets a counter kill. So big picture, I think Complexity could be pretty happy with the end result.
They can't be, but Dark Lady still managed to pick up a bit there. That was really impressive how much damage that double damage Flux did. That pull and the hidden Glacius looked like it was pretty much three-shotting him. But either way, yeah, they did come out a bit ahead. They didn't have to use Elemental Void, which was the main part of it. They took out Tempest before he did it, but they still, it was a 2-for-2 exchange, I believe, in the end, and they got the tower. Not having to use Elemental Void, they can keep the pressure up, no problem.
Yeah.
That being said, Rune Cleaver is still right around the corner. He's going to be able to split push and farm so much faster. And, they just need to hit the Engineer level 6, man. They need to do everything they can to hit Engineer level 6 right now because they have that Flux NG combo, man.
Yeah.
They need to be able to utilize that as the main strength of their team.
Yep, he is still level 5 and obviously going to do his part to keep this creep lane from being pushed. But as you said, I mean, with the Elemental Void still up, Complexity going to kind of reset some things. And they're going to come back in. They have a couple of Ring of Sorceries. No, they got the one in Ophelia and a Tempest. So yeah, they have 2 Ring of Sorceries. That's definitely helping with this continuing to push. Look at Tempest and Glacius hiding up here. They're either trying to get somebody who's trying to flank or They're just waiting for the prime opportunity to go from behind themselves, actually.
Engineer's not an experienced range man. He's trying to go to the mid lane to get it. Now they're actually applying the pressure. Going to be able to catch the Flux out of position here.
Flux is in a lot of trouble. He's going to be locked down. It will be enough damage. He discharges at the last second, but it doesn't matter. It did discharge, but he actually uses release right there. It doesn't matter. The tower is going to fall. Obviously, Dark Lady is still farming at the top lane. She isn't involved currently. Oh, Torture in the full
tower is hating him, and actually it's doing a lot of work here at this tower. It's going on to Tempest too. He's low, and all of a sudden the tower looks like it might be safe. Engineer, he's got his Striders. Is he going to be able to do anything though? He needs to hit level 6. They're saving it long enough, Bricky. They're going to be going back, and the next time they go for that tower push, they will have that ultimate combination.
Tower MVP there for IG in terms of holding them off, really. Yeah, does get the kill and eventually thwarts them off there. And again, Dark Lady was able to just farm the whole time at the top side, and she does not ever recruit.
300, she's farming at bottom. Engineer's in the middle lane getting experience. Okay, good. Do it faster. Just go kill the small camp with your spells. just be proactive about it. Like, I don't care. Just honestly lose lane control for a sec. Just be proactive about it.
There you go.
Okay.
He's got the level 6. Energy field.
This is making me tense, man, because I knew we needed it. Who's bottom lane here?
Ooh,
Invisible and Glacius. That's ready to be two-shot if he's
scouted
by Rebel, which Sender is sitting right next to.
Okay, he's going to freeze, but the support isn't really there just yet. Okay.
Okay, well, it wouldn't matter. His Fork Lightning missed, but honestly, it was only level 3 Fork Lightning combined with a level 2 stun. It wasn't enough damage to kill him, so they were trying to set something up, but probably for the better that it didn't work out. They did have support coming, and Dark Lady with her Ruined Cleaver now is going to start power farming. I want to see those stacks being busted out, and this is when the game becomes interesting. This is really when the game becomes interesting, because it creates that interesting dynamic of, oh shit, TDL's farming up, she's hitting that late game, and you know, we've got a turret, which is, it's cool, it's a caster, you might be able to get a Void Talisman, a Sheepstick, ways that can deal with her, but it's still a Dark Lady in the end.
In a sense, you're putting a clock now on complexity. I mean, hell, I guess you really were from the beginning of the game, but with the Ruined Cleaver, that's, again, where it really starts to take off, so complexity, that play style of, okay, now she is going to start getting more dangerous and dangerous, we really need to start kicking even further into high gear here. I mean, they've already been so aggressive, obviously. They already have all 3 initial towers taken out in every lane. They pushed the bottom secondary and nearly got it killed, and they do have plenty of hero kills as well. So they have been keeping up the activity, but it's definitely just continuing to do so. Don't fall now into a set of, well, let's actually farm up, let's get our next big items, and because then you start falling into competition with Dark Lady, and again, same results as we keep going back to. So,
well,
Magnus nearly has support to keep
There's that, and then the fact that Master Arms and Engineer now both have their ultimates, man. They both have their ultimates. It's a huge opportunity for them.
It is a big deal. Again, Magnus very close to Portal Key. In fact, he has it right here. He's going to go to the side chop, also getting close to level 11.
Astrolabe was finished by Ophelia as well, so we talk about push potential. Look where they're taking it. Pretty damn smart, but I don't know. They're clustered. I mean, a good Dark Lady ulti isn't too much out of the question. They do have that Flux NG power, but just afraid of all the minion presence, and they're not really setting up for it. Dark Lady's still farming away with the neutrals. Where's the courier? She had something delivered to her. The Ring of the Teacher. She's going for that straight Abyssal Skull, so looking like they're content with having him sit there and work on Kongor slowly while Noob G farms up here. Is she going to get the stack?
She did a good job by Riser microing the minions too with the Minotaurs.
Get back and forth there.
Getting damage. Which is
it's
possible.
Okay, he's going to be able to pick up his upgrade boots or a lot of his Abyssal Skull during this time window.
Yeah, so at least a little bit of positive for IG, but end result, this won't mean a Token of Life. Torture most likely going to pick it up, and there you go. Conquer goes down, Token of Life goes to Torturer. He also has a haste rune currently active. He actually has another for 14 seconds. They're going to try to go for Noob G down here, but Dark Lady knows. I mean, obviously he's needs to be a little careful, and he's going to start falling back in the end. Magnus in the meantime at the top lane. He stuns in, but he will then start to turn around, or will he? Steam Bath's going to be coming right there. He got pushed in. Energy field is applied. Beacon is in a lot of trouble right here. It's just engineer bubbles, but he might fall in the end.
Oh my God.
The last second. Portal King 2 in 1. He has a regen. It doesn't even matter. Big getaway from the Swagness.
Yeah, and then the ulti didn't come down soon enough for the Flux pull to actually, I mean, it got him in it, but it didn't actually get him through it for that initial damage. Made it really hard to land the keg, so nice jukes, nice side steps coming out from B-Kid there in the end, and well, he barely survived. That would have been a big pick-off and holding off future approaches. Now that they know the Engineer's ulti's down,
and
guess what that means? And discharge, that means, hey, we can push. So that just, honestly, it screwed them when they messed up that execution and had no other support coming out to try to land that kill.
Tempest and Magnus going to find their way in the middle lane. Again, Magnus, he's also got to be close to level 11, and there you go, hits level 11, so has that level 2 eruption now on top of the portal key and whatnot. They're going to grip at the bottom lane. Obviously, this tower already very vulnerable. Engineer's going to throw out the turret, but don't expect much else here.
Yeah, I feel like each team is switching up between having something like really good happen to them and the timing, and right now it's in Complexity's favor, which when it is the case, they have 8,700 gold now, 4,200 experience, 4,150, so honestly, the lead is expanding and expanding, and that's what I sometimes worry about when I see a hard carry like a Dark Lady. It's when does it stop? When does it stop? You have to take a team fight at some point, and you have to hope your team is coordinated enough or outplay them enough to win it. If that happens and you get the game to an even level, then I usually see the carries take over. And when they're in the sink as far as resources are concerned, don't expect that turnaround factor.
Yeah. Yeah, this tower's just going to drop.
And what are they getting out of it? I mean, they're letting the tower drop, but top lane's still fine.
Yep. Going to push the secondary middle tower, so again, a little more of a gold swing here for Complexity. Tempest diving quite a bit, but in the end, not going to be fun. But yeah, as you're saying, Dark Hoodie just doesn't care. Noob G just going to continue to farm away here in the jungle.
Well, look, they're actually using the ulti and everything just to take out these Ancients really quick,
wow.
So really denying Storm. They really needed that ulti, man. They really needed that Energy Flux ulti to be up, and trying to go for a solo Magnus and screwing it up was not really acceptable.
Yeah, didn't get the kill, and as we saw, again, the big picture there, Complexity taking advantage big time. So, man, oh man, with just so much on the line, you can definitely just feel how tense everything is though here for these two teams. Wanted to go to DreamHack, and it's only going to be one of these guys, and again, this is it to determine that. You look at the goal per minute charts, it is looking very good for Complexity as a team.
The fact is they have this Torture carry, and Torture is one of the best mid-game token wielders in Han, period, simply because of the massive amount of AoE magic damage he's able to put out before the team has Shrunken Heads. On top of that Impalement, he's able to be right up there pushing towers with that token. He's honestly the perfect hero for it. He's the perfect hero for it. He's building build-up items here, something like that Sackstone combined with that Steam Boot, so not really going for that, you know, hard. He's not going for like that really cheap or something too, so he has those build-up items and he's able to take these early fights with ease.
The last Shadow Tower is going to fall here.
They are getting something out of it, kind of. They're
bottom lane.
Watching bottom lane kind of fall.
Thinking about it, it's risky. I mean, they're already the TP, and you see right there, they go to the secondary. Dark Hoodie quickly charging strikes away. Tower's going to survive. It's not even in deny range yet, so.
Nope.
Able to hold it off still. So 6 tower kills to nothing in favor of Complexity here. Again, as far as the big picture is concerned, but still Dark Lady Abyssal Skull is just about finished for her. On top of the Ghost Marcher's Rune Cleaver now.
Yeah, the hardest point is going to be coming when it comes to break base. They got all the outer towers pretty much using this token Torture. When it comes to breaking base, that's when the fun starts.
Yeah. Ooh, middle lane. We have Ophelia getting a little bit deep in territory here. Riser. By him. Oh, he does have the triple Minotaur. There's the one stun. He's going to come in with the nukes as well. There's the second stun. Look at Riser just burst down Insania by himself, and now they're gonna jet on out of there. I don't think he's going to be caught. No, he's not. So,
nope.
Oh, plus ganking Ophelia running in there.
Yeah, solo catching him out there. I mean, there was really no tower for him to pour to, and a lot of confidence coming out from Ophelia to make something like that happen by yourself. But fantastic job. You see that portal key here on Flux, and they're working together to kill those Ancients again.
Kill those Ancients as a team. Flux, yeah, just getting that portal key. It's big. I mean,
see, and the Shrunken Head, man, that's exactly what they don't want. That's exactly what they.
What's that?
Out, the Shrunken Head coming out soon from Torture, so that Flux NG is really going to be.
Oh yeah.
Non-factor to him.
He's just ain't gonna care too much. He's gonna be moved around and a little annoyed perhaps, but the Shrunken Head will mitigate quite a bit, of course. So. They just got the Warhammer part. Ooh, they're moving as a team through the jungle right here. They are running past toward a sign. That's a Rev right there. In the meantime, Magnus, oh, he misses the stun though. And this could be dangerous. Charge shot on a Tempest coming out. Kelvin on top of that. Moomiander gonna throw out the Elemental Void right there. He gets pulled in by Flux. He's holding him down. The Glacial downpour. Bubbles will eventually fall. Tempest is still barely alive. Torture comes in with the chain reactions. Gets the stun on a Flux right there. And now the chase is on. Impalement is activated. Magnus does it. Gets another kill. Dark gonna be locked down. The triple Minotaur from Riser gonna completely lock down Noob G. And just like that, Complexity, a 4-for-1 exchange. Tempest the only one to die. Engineer wasn't even there.
Yeah, they initiated so hard into this Tempest without having a single stun to stop him after they got those two heroes. I mean, they did have stuns, but they were either down and or, I mean, Flux was the one that wasn't elemental voided. He can do nothing to stop it. He tried pulling it back. He tried dragging them all around. Still kept channeling it from even further and further away. So a little bit unfortunate they turned up so late, but now they still have the token. They're still pushing the base, and now they have that token. Engineer ulti, it is up. It is up. I mean, he didn't get to use it there, but he is out of mana, so would like to see him go get some. Yeah, he is topping off.
Yeah, that combination is still a threat for sure. That Complexity has to keep in mind, and they're not going to continue their pursuit into the
they
base.
have tons of minions right now to deal with the Engineer, and they have just tons of farm to not care as much about it. They have a Shrunken Head coming out for Torture,
and
a Shrunken Head coming out for Tempest, so their combination really just, I don't want to say it, but it doesn't matter anymore, and they can't stop the Shrunken Head on Tempest. They can't stop it, so what's to stop him from picking up a portal key and just screwing it up each and every time?
On top of that, you also have Magnus. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that Shrunken Head now next. Seems like Vika does prefer to do that a lot of the time after the tablet portal key here. So it's, I guess it just simply continues to go back to for IG Darklady. Darklady. I'll say it even more.
Yeah,
450 gold per minute.
Right,
man.
and it is something that, well, it's more than Darklady. It's the fact that they're going to have, I'm going to go look at, sort of when we saw IG versus Complexity, but the roles are reversed here. Instead of the Moon Queen, okay.
Flux got picked.
The curse.
Yep.
Okay, so instead of the Moon Queen, they have this, Darklady that they're trying to put the whole entire game into at this point, but the obstacle for her to climb at this point, it is pretty significant. I mean, they need to fight around the base. Okay, 20 seconds of no buyback for this Flux. They need to fight in the base, and it would be better if the tower was up so they can sort of use that as an anchor or the choke point for that Flux NG combination. But yeah, I'm worried about the NG ulti going down and just these Minotaurs just slapping it, like bringing it down almost instantly.
Ooh, oh no, Darklady, oh no, he's going to be stunned right here. Glacius running in as well, can he get a time? No, the Eruption, he will be able to try to chase away. The timing was just a little bit off, but the chase is still going to happen right here. Ghost Marchers, there's the opposite Master's Call, and the discharge on top of that. Wow. Very, very close.
Very lucky.
Man.
I mean, if he waited just a split second more, I think he could have actually been okay. He was nervous with the Glacius coming in. Well, Striders weren't activated yet because Glacius just TP'd, so, well, gonna live to see another day, thankfully. That was horrifying. You viewed the Jaws theme there or something with seeing that Magnus waiting. And that would have just been, that would have been very anticlimactic to see that Darklady dying away like that, because we are placing the entire game sort of on her right now. She needs the Shrunken Head. She needs it badly. The Frostburn or whatever pickup does help a hero like Darklady snowball a lot, though. So curious to see what he's going to feel. I feel like he still needs that Shrunken Head sooner than later.
Complexity seeming to be really on top of Ancients as well, and not afraid to use a Glacial Downpour for them. These triple stack Ancients again going to be cleaned up as a team. I mean, it's just the gold per minute chart really does explain how Complexity is just playing as a team so well right now. Especially in this game.
Every single outer tower is dropped. Every single outer tower is dropped. If you look at it, it's every single tower on Complexity side is up breaky. All of them are actually, two of them, mid and bot actually, are low health, but so easily breakable if something does go wrong. But yeah, absolutely no pressure being applied, which is a large part of where that gold is coming from. If they had an equalizing fight and could quickly split push and take out some of the lanes, then all of a sudden,
different story perhaps. Speaking of that, 2,100 more gold saved up on Noob G. Something's being delivered, I believe, to him. Yeah, the Mighty Blade. So that Shrunken Head is coming along very nicely here for Darklady. Tempest does have another 1,200 plus gold saved up.
And look what they're going for again, and that's going to be the timing, the Conqueror timing. They're not even going to waste a beat with it. Miss a beat with it, I should say. Party Conqueror, Jesus, look how fast that's fallen. This is their time to at least get some tower pushes going. They don't want to leave themselves vulnerable, spam up the lane, let the creeps push that mid tower. I don't even care if it gets denied at this point. Just make something happen to it. So, yeah, that one's going down. It will be in deny range. Glacius is going to be able to, they're going to be able to hold off their creeps. But Darklady, meanwhile, on the top, there's no TPs just yet. And if they do come out, she can now TP in time, since it only takes 3 seconds to TP out, 4 seconds to TP into that tower. Something to keep in mind. And pushing this lane up really hard. She now has her Shrunken Head. That is big. That is big. We see Engineer saving up 1,600 gold as well. So imagine he does get something like that portal key to lay down that ulti, and then they get pulled. Okay.
Hey, there's hope.
There is. There honestly is.
Hope here for internet gangsters. But Complexity, they know this is a great timing now. Token of Life just picked up on Torturer. We've already talked about the Shrunken Heads, the impact there. 3,300 gold on Magnus, by the way. He's saving up for, again, what could possibly be a straight-click Shrunken Head himself. They got the barrier idol, obviously, on Ophelia. They are going to push yet again in the bottom lane. Move Meander not joining them just yet. He's actually going to
be a good time for them to catch him
bit.
off guard. Dark Lady's coming back here. Curious to see how he chooses to place this. Nice turret placement coming out from Insania. Oh,
there it is! There's a combo coming out! Dark Lady
oh my
as well!
God.
Torture's in a lot of trouble! He will eventually fall. Glacier's going down as well. Will this matter, though, in the end? Torture going to come back up after the token of life, so they got that used off the bat. Glacius is the only one dead here, so, I mean, that's what they were going for. That was pretty good by IG. But it seems like Complexity is going to be able to regroup now and kind of push in
so much more now, though, because of the fact that the creep waves are down. What about the Ophelia creeps, even?
Yeah.
she's naked.
She lost it, yeah.
She's got to reclaim them. So this buys them time. Let's take a look at the duration. 50 seconds in Engineer ulti. Wow. How much time for Flux here? 42 seconds for Flux.
Very short, yeah.
So they're down, but look, Dark Lady, 1,400 extra gold, has those vestments. What's flying out to her? TP scroll, okay. So trying to piece something together here. That tower, I'm not sure if they have glyph or not yet. Flux playing sort of bodyguard up there, and Tempest went all the way back. What did he just pick up, Breaky?
Tempest Portal Key?
Shrunken
Head?
Portal Key. Oh, Portal Key, yeah, you're right. He already had the Shrunken Head. He was getting the Portal Key.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not going to be able to break here. I mean, those ultimates are coming up here. And Dark Lady's Shrunken Head on top of that will also be up. So they are going to try, but
TP back.
I think this could be deadly for Complexity here. If they don't realize.
This fight tells us a lot about how this game might unfold here.
There's the vulnerability. They really want this
they
tower
might
kill.
not realize, I mean, the Flux Engie combination
They really want
now
this
up.
tower kill. It is up.
They're
One account Engineer as well.
Engineer has that PK.
Okay, tower is going to fall here at least. So
Engineer has that PK.
Yep.
The way he blinks in ultis is very precarious as well, because he sort of wants to catch them right on the outside of it to pull them in with that Flux.
Yeah.
And right then, that's when the Dark Lady Shadow has to come in. That's when the Bubbles Kelp Field sort of locks him down inside, and that's where the fun begins.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely saw that pretty well executed in that last fight right there. So Complexity is going to keep in mind of the situation, and they are going to now fall back. So IG, though, they do hold off the initial front force. That time that we talked about from the very beginning, especially when the Rune Cleaver was picked up on Dark Lady, it's still ticking here. And Complexity obviously very aware of that well. Now they just kind of need to reset some things again. You can't wait for another Congo here, can you? I mean, they are gonna keep the pressure up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna keep the pressure up. But right now, it's only the racks that are open. They do have. I like that Word of Brethren. Okay, I like the spam there, but they're really just trying to slow down the creep wave at any cost here. Elemental minions are able to split up. The acid bomb is down. Bubbles nuke. Looking at it, it has 2 more seconds. Yeah, look at those minions, man, completely destroyed. So. They've got to be careful. They are buffing the armor of the barrel eyes here. They're trying to commit right here. This is when Engineer has to make it happen.
This is it. Torture in the front lines. There we go. The energy field in the background. The big discharge on top. Elemental Void going to come out from Mumian, though, locking them down. Torture on the miss of the energy field. Has his Shrunken Head up, though, doing as much as possible. Look at Bubble's going to fall. Torture will barely stay alive. Dark Lady is still alive in the meantime. She is running in, and we see Ophelia holding his ground. Dark Lady will end up falling, and Complexity does break through the hole right there. Dark Lady does buy back. In comes once again from Flux to release. Oh, the Torture barely going to survive, and now Flux in a bad spot. Tempest boarding out.
Oh my God.
Big lights down. The eruption will go off. Flux will not going to go down, and that could be it. Very likely Complexity's now going to push through. Dark Lady's not going to be up for a whole freaking minute here. Did Complexity just qualify for DreamHack?
I don't know, Breaky. That was absolutely insane. He was coming in with that charge. If BK did not get that eruption off that second, it might have been silencing a whole 3, maybe even 4 heroes. I'm not sure how deep he was going, but maybe 3 heroes might have been able to make something happen. Not to mention how close did that Torturer get to dropping, man. How close. It was so close.
He was able to get the Shrunken Head off, though, as we talked about it.
Yeah, he was. He was the initial perplex through the ulti. They just didn't have the enough burst, man. They just didn't have enough burst. It was so close.
Here we go again. Take 2. Round 2, 30 seconds left on Dark Lady.
Yeah,
they can't do anything.
They can't stop it.
I mean, they do have the combo coming up in about 9 seconds right here, the Wombo combo, but again, without Dark Lady, it's pretty risky.
Say hi to the Void Talisman too, man. Just making it extra slippery there. Yeah, very well played in that fight by Complexity. I mean, they did have the advantage going into it, but that was after I saw the Engineer ultimate go down the Flux, pull him through. I'm like, oh my god, this might be it. This might be it.
That's what they're hoping for. I mean, that was definitely pretty beautiful. There we go. Kelpie gonna go in right there. Tempest ultimate gonna go off of the enemy field. The discharge on top of that. Again, what they're looking for on the lead side. Tempest will end up falling. Torture holding his ground. The Shuriken is up, but he's taking a lot of damage. Darkly comes back in and eventually tears through him. Okay, though, melee racks did fall in favor of Complexity, so they still are pretty happy, I would think, but at least IG is going to clean up a little bit, and Dark Lady comes back and gets a kill out of it.
Not able to find Ophelia just hit, but Dark Lady's on the prowl, does have vision.
Ooh. Yep, he's in trouble.
No slow yet, but...
Oh no, Nature's Wrath.
Ophelia's going to,
it's not going to matter.
Nope.
Oh, maybe it will. Nope. Good chase there. And again, he gets a couple of kills.
Hey, I mean, they do have ways to hold back creep waves. It is not over just because they did take out a set of racks.
Yeah.
It does mean that the next Conqueror, though, that means it's, if I'm not mistaken, Bananas.
Yep, it should be. Yeah. It's their Conqueror kill, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have to push this out really quick, try to figure out what they can do, because at this point, giving up the token plus Bananas looks more of like a brute force push waiting to happen. What is he going to do now that this Torture has multiple ways to react here with that Void Talisman and the Shrunken? And the fact that if Tempest is far enough back and they even do try to go on Torrent, he activates the Shrunken Head, nothing can stop him from doing it. Nothing can stop his ulti from getting off, which always will cover the Torture and let him survive long enough to activate his spells.
I mean, Darkhood's response is crit Rift Shards. He picks up Rift Shards right there, level 1. Again, this is definitely a very powerful build for a Dark Lady, and he will be putting out the damage, but you're all right. There are still a lot of concerns that IG will have to get over, even as Dark Lady, as farmed as she is. It does feel weird saying that, but it is an issue. The post haste on Tralfamador as well, playing the Torture, definitely a big item to have, especially in a game like this. So, I mean, you look at across the board right now, a lot of gold being pulled up here on Complexity. So some big items, some next tier of items are going to be picked up here.
Here's the thing,
in a little bit.
We talked about the timer that Complexity might be on. That window just opened way up because of the double set of racks, set of racks on bottom, melee and range racks, and the melee racks in middle. On top of the fact that now we look at the rush for Tempest to pick up his Restoration Stone. Once he does, we'd already talked about he can jump in there and just ulti the Dark Lady at no response. Once he gets Restoration Stone, that's even more lockdown. What is she supposed to do during it?
Twiddle her thumbs? I mean,
yeah.
Basically.
Exactly it. She has to twiddle her thumbs.
Here's your answer. No, it's a tough spot for IG again, and again, credit to Complexity though. They needed that aggressive play for the beginning, and they definitely got it. They executed.
It was close. It was very close.
As expected, man. I mean, again, with so much on the line, very evenly matched up here. I think it's safe to say this being game number 3. It's even again with all the suspense we've already had with delays, with some drama both in the previous series and this series. It's definitely a pretty exciting finish we have here. Coming down to
the Shrunken Head now completed by Magnus. I mean, he's had it, but I'm taking a look at the Shrunken Heads again. 3 Shrunken Heads, man, to stop that spell combo. So the more and more you look at it, all they have to do is even initiate the fight, and the follow-up is there. Right now, they've been getting initiated on each time. Say they're the ones picking the fight.
Yeah.
They're actually able to get those Shrunken Heads off before that NG Flux combo really kicks their butt. Then what?
Rift Shards level 2 now finished on Dark Lady, so she is definitely progressing towards that level 4 again. The Conqueror is I'm sure it's safe to say for Complexity of what they're really waiting for, maybe even that Restoration Stone on Tempest, but Conqueror is at least the first step with that, and now, I mean, they do have a very strong Conqueror team, of course, and whether or not IG will even be able to stop it. They definitely have the possibility, but they don't have any vision over there right now. In Complexity, obviously, they do got that kind of Hellborn advantage that's always like to be brought up, so something they'll be able to benefit from.
At this point, once they get the ban, we talked about it before, the Restoration. I mean, the Restoration actually still has a while before it comes out.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it. So there is a window of opportunity. They are pushing back the lanes quite a fair amount. That is just an illusion from Torture, but sort of scouting or maybe scaring people off.
Find anybody, but nope.
And that post haste, I mean, even with Token 2, you look at if he has gold, he can also buy back post haste right back into the fight too, so.
Yeah.
Might just be this unkillable machine.
Yep. Tempest going to farm at the top, and in the meantime, obviously the bottom already doing work because of the rack situation out there. The middle lane with the melee racks being down. Our Legion team, that's just what happens. IG is constantly having to pay attention to that, so the map positioning obviously in favor of complexity, and here we go with Kongor. Ophelia goes right to the Kongor pit, and it's going to start being beat down, and again, I don't see IG even remotely stopping this. They do have a ward of sight. That was recently placed by Sender for that bottom rune, but it doesn't look like they are even moving over there. So this will be a free tower kill for, or excuse me, a free Kongor kill for complexity.
Yeah, maybe not the Bound Eye being activated right now. Magnus looks like he wants to try to set up behind just in case there's motion, but no one's even moving there. Like,
yeah. Not going to risk it. Just wants to have more and more farm on Dark Liddy. They got a Storm Spirit on Bubbles here. Again, they're just going to play the game of Dark Liddy, carry us, please. Well, it will help with their ultimates. It's definitely powerful, but Dark Liddy's going to need to get some big crits off and some good positioning. Easier said than done. Kongor goes down. Token of Life on Torture, I'm guessing. Yeah, on Torture. Bananas, who got the bananas? Magnus has the bananas currently, so as we mentioned, the third Kongor already happening. I mean, it's pretty early on still, 36 minutes.
I could feasibly see a Dark Lady with Rift Shards level 4 if both the Tempest and the Torture can pull through the energy field before they're able to get their shrunken heads off, and then Dark Lady might be able to burst one of them down in just a couple seconds, thanks to the fact that she has these Rift Shards 4 now, so more explosive play that he's going for. But hey, in a situation like this, you kind of need to roll the dice and hope these things work out, and you just manage to have the perfect Blink Engineer ulti and just have the perfect setup and everything just lines up, because it is looking like a really, really tough fight.
I like this Mind Trap that Insania is using right here on his own Ancients. You got some 7 mines, so it's 1,400 magical damage coming out right there. Somebody happens to walk over it. Glacius will need to be careful. There's a roam over there by himself, but obviously smart choice here by Complexity. Actually, what's going on in the middle lane? It looks like Bobo's going to go. Oh, he tried to bubble himself! He could not shell surf. The discharge going to be trying to save him. He will be tapped. There's a lightning speed applied, and it looks like Fabunko will survive in the end, but
meanwhile, Nuji did take out the tower here, so
yeah, but discharge was used.
Discharge was used, yes.
Oh, well, whoa, 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 Torture gonna cut. Oh, the Sugar comes out, though. He is ready to fight this. He's gonna go try to kill the energy field. Dark Lady jumps in, though, and he runs right on through it. Chain Soul gonna be applied to 2 Glaciers in the meantime, but he's tapping forward, and it will be fine. Magnus, no, Magnus is not going to go in. So, ooh, interesting play going on there.
Posturing back and forth. Dark Lady did not use her ultimate yet, so she still has that to work with. But with Energy Field down now, Kelp Field is up. It buys her a little bit of room. Tempest did use his Shrunken Head, if I'm not mistaken. Does still have that Void Talisman up, though. What can they do to stop it?
Level 3 Rift Shards now on Dark Lady. She wants to make sure she has enough for the buyback.
He just stunned him before he's able to get off. And the spam's coming out. He does still have the token. I'm not sure, Brady. I'm not.
He's going to give him bananas. Yep.
Give him bananas.
Yeah, he just ate the bananas there.
Yeah, just wants to keep him up in front, so yeah, excellent use there.
Tower is going to fall, or start falling some more here. Again, as you said, the ultimates are down. Discharge will be up in 10, but the energy field will still remain dead, unfortunately. Do you jump in right here? Bubbles kind of creeping up. Charge shot on a Torture. He's on the goo currently. Going to be pulled in with a magnetic surge. A lot of damage, but
wow,
not enough.
That was not even the Dark Lady jump, dude. That was the tower plus the goo plus the
goo. It's
the
doing
pull. Wow, that was.
It's ported back, but he does have post haste. Remember?
Right. So that's actually really frustrating to deal with. But the great thing about that breaky was that Engineer's ulti is 5 seconds right now. His Shrunken Head is back up though, and look what Tempest has. Look at Tempest's new shiny yellow orb.
Yes, the yellow orb of death, aka Restoration Stone, and his Invis currently, by the way.
That's just
that's just for the flex. There is no rev or anything like that outside, but of course the tower. So, but yeah, has that double ultimate now. He hasn't shown it yet, and because he's Invis, he will at least be sneaky with it. It continued to be. There's a sport aside over here. I wonder if he did spot it, but anyways. Once again, pushing back in. Remember, took the left. Biggest suddenly started winning. That elemental one in the back. Energy field going off, but already a quick call to Master of Arms. Flux being locked down. Flux will fall. Dark Lady gets out though. Look at the crits coming out, but the second elemental void to lock her down. Will there be enough damage in the end? She's getting out the crits once again. There's on a big discharge, but Dark Lady will fall. She does have a buyback. Tempest is very low in life. Flux again may fall right here. He's barely gonna live, it looks like. But Dark Lady jumps back in, and Dark Lady wants some freaking blood. Will she be locked in enough though? Torture is still alive. He has it. They say kill me at this point. He does die. Kited indeed. Down goes Dark Lady. That should do it. Complexity most likely disqualified for DreamHack Summer 2013 right there. You see IG just fighting, but Darkly's down for 70 more seconds. The tower falls. There you go. There's the good luck. It is official. Complexity going to DreamHack Summer 2013. They'll be joining Stay Green from this event. Internet Gangster will fall just short, unfortunately, man. What a run.
That could have been a crazy finish. You were looking at some maybe lucky crits, man. When he dove onto the, oh man, they were kiting him perfectly. A rough game for Noob G, man. When he dove onto that Magnus, I think the Ophelia in the back there, no crit. He got them both down to like 50 or 100 HP. Just a sliver of life. Imagine if he crit on the dive there. They would have been able to hold it off a little bit longer. Still, Complexity was growing stronger and stronger. They were turtling and waiting for the token and the bananas, but damn, that was an intense final. I honestly, I saw the huge lead that Complexity had, and I was like, I wanted IG to come back, but like, there was like a 10K, 14K disparity. I was like, no. And then that one fight happened in the base where they killed the token at pretty much no cost. Yeah. They drove him off, and I'm like, maybe this is the thing. Unfortunately, not to be in the end.
It's a great game. I mean, great game. I don't think there's any other way to put it, really, in the end. But the fact that we did get to see that synergy come into play for IG, even though they were behind, they had that comeback potential, as you put it, that Darkly carry. Even at the very end there was beautiful kiting by Complexity, by the way.
The Restoration Stone came in just in time, man.
Yes, it did.
And they timed their push perfectly. I mean, it was absolutely mammoth. So, you know, just little things along the way just went slightly differently. You could have seen an entirely different game. Today was not their day, though, so Complexity coming back after being down one game. They did have to take 2 games off of IG. There were problems that started off in that game 1. Just to summarize things up, Fuzi did have to stop playing with IG for games 2 and 3, so being replaced by Fabunko, though, and potentially throwing off some synergy, but, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, the case is whatever happened, and now they're going to DreamHack.
Hey, you know, it's in the end, you know, IG, they were the one that did have the issues. Complexity was the one that did have to wait patiently nearby and to see what was ultimately going to happen. Again, obviously the ruling became to a point where they were going to use Fabunko in place of Fuzi, and they were going to move on, though, and finish off the series here tonight. That they did. Complexity fought strong, and deservingly so, man, especially with just all this lining up from the previous series to how this series again played out. You got to be feeling pretty good, if not only if you're Complexity, but a fan of Complexity on top of that. So congratulations to Complexity again. I will say, you know, it's definitely going to be cool seeing Trial from Midor back there for sure. So
I know, and you know, I'm happy for Complexity to make it. I still feel it's weird because I want to be happy for Complexity, and I feel the heartache for IG as well, being like, man, we were so close. We had one game. You know, our player was having problems. If only had the internet, you know, we could have done it. And I can see both sides of the story. I can see the struggle of both teams, and well, the joy of one and the struggle of the other. So. Yeah, rough, but that was an intense final game. Complexity did play great. Man, I mean, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
It is. I'm actually, I do apologize, kind of looking down right here, but I am attempting to get that interview, help get the interview set up at least.
Who are we looking at?
Well, who do you think? Who do you think?
I don't know.
Who do we have to interview after this? I mean, is that really even really a question? Come on.
Yeah, you're.
I think that's enough.
Starts with an M. And ends with a moon meander.
Maybe. Oh boy. There we go. I just let him know that. Okay, so I'll have a producer get that taken care of, and once he's good to go, we'll jump into that. But yeah, we are setting up the interview with Moon Meander to talk with him and see how he's feeling about that victory. And I have a feeling he has some things to say when it comes down to it. So
maybe.
Looking forward to that. As far as IG is concerned, the positive thing for them and in Sandy, it kind of seems like he was very mannered there at the end. You know, good luck at DreamHack, boys, and so that was great to see the good manners in the end right there, for especially with the heated moments that these two teams have had lately. But as frustrating as it is, this is a very, very new team still. This is a dangerous team moving ahead in IG and Internet Gangsters, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching them as they progress. But they are still very new, and Complexity, no doubt, that experience most certainly helped them as well.